Get a kick out of that every time. All right, so first thing, I'm telling you two triangles are congruent. I didn't provide a diagram. You know why? Because you don't need it. All right, you don't need it. I'm telling you triangle WIS congruent to triangle EUP. List the corresponding parts of the triangle that are congruent now. Once the triangles are congruent, now the corresponding parts are congruent. All right, that's what today's topic is about. Once you get the two triangles congruent, now you can tell me all their corresponding parts. So I'm going to look for six different people right now to tell me what corresponding parts are now congruent. But the triangles have to be congruent first. All right, let's start it off with 22. Name a pair of parts. I don't need a diagram. That statement's written in the correct order for a reason. What's the first letter in the first triangle? So angle W should be congruent to what in the other triangle? W, angle E, correct. Am I on the right? Okay, just making sure I'm on the right one. All right, here you go, 11. What do you got for me next? Angle I congruent to angle U. Next up, let's fire away here. 24. All right, all the angles have been exhausted. Now go to sides for me. Go to the sides. Oh, number 20. Two more. 12. And finally, 6. 30. Calm down.
SW is congruent to
Did I write? I got to change that. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. No one caught me, so it's not a mistake. So, yeah, there you go. Okay. This is only true if I know what? The triangles must be congruent first before you tell me the parts are. All right, that's the big topic for today. So let's get right into it. So go ahead, I'll let you write down the givens. Well, all we're doing today is extending these proofs by one more step. And this is great practice for tomorrow as well. All right, part A, it says, there's two parts here. Part A says, hey, can you prove the triangle's congruent for me? All right, I gave you a full pair of sides, didn't I, in CA and CB? I gave you a full pair of sides. What else can you produce for me right now? Great practice going into tomorrow. What can you produce for me? Here you go, 29. What else can you produce? AD congruent to DB. That is a correct statement. Need somebody else to tell me why that's true. 7. Definition of a midpoint. That is another full pair of sides. So you guys are down to one more pair of something for me. One more pair of something you're on the hook for. Do you see what we have here? 16. What else? The old reflexive. And that gives me my third pair of sides. So out of the 4 methods we've talked about, why are these two triangles congruent? 22. Side, side, side. That's not bad at all. Okay, ready to extend our proof now. One more step. Now that the triangles are congruent, why would angle ACD and BCD? I just want you to explain it to me. I don't need to know exactly what's going in the reasons column here, but explain to me why those two angles. And again, you know nothing about bisectors or anything, so do not put that out of your mouth, please. All right? Why, now that you have the triangles congruent, why would those angles, Maggie, go, why would those angles be congruent? And what do we been, go, sorry.
And since the triangles are congruent, all angles and all sides.
There we go. All right. What did we call these parts or angles? They are corresponding. So number 5 now, extend our proof one more step today. Angle ACD is congruent to BCD. Because what I say here in a second, not what you want to put up here. Calm it down. I just yell out 5 and you just go after it. I love this. Like you and Grace got to calm it down. I'm on step 5. All right, it's not all about you. All right, it's not about you. Ready? Corresponding parts in, nope, don't even say it. Corresponding parts in, what type of triangles do I just have? Corresponding parts in congruent triangles are congruent. Paige, let me finish off your question. Can I be lazy? That's what you wanted to say. Can I be lazy and shorthand this? That's exactly what you wanted. All right, and unfortunately, my answer is yes here. Okay, there's a classic abbreviation we can use from now on, so we don't have to write corresponding parts in congruent triangles are congruent. Let this one roll off your tongue. You can write this, and yes, this is acceptable on the Regents exam. CPCTC. Corresponding parts in congruent triangles are congruent. CPCTC. Let that roll off the tongue a couple times. Only, couple things here. Couple things before we move on. If you want to use it, you better get it right. CPAXYZ, not going to cut it for me. Oh, I was a letter off. I don't care. Then write out this then. If this is going to be a problem, you remember in the order of the letters. Okay? Second thing, is this a way to prove triangles congruent? No. No. You only have 4 ways. This is not a way to prove triangles congruent. This should only come up after you prove triangles congruent. All right? That should be the next step after you prove 2 triangles congruent. It is not a method of proving them congruent. All good there. So as you're doing these proofs and practicing, you better figure out, what do I want to do? The abbreviation, make sure you get it right, or write out corresponding parts in congruent triangles are congruent. We good there? Okay, next up. Prove the triangles congruent first. I gave you a lot here, huh? Probably too much. But again, I can make these so hard. Would I give you 2 full pairs of angles? And we know angle, 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 never away. So you're probably going to have to find me a what here? A side. Yep. And where's that going to come from? Here we go. 9. What do you got for me? Yep. And there is my third pair. Now you guys got to have a decision to make. Is that side in between or not? Because that's going to affect my reason why. Reason why they are congruent. Number 3. Angle, angle, side. That side is not in between. Now, could I extend this proof and get it to be angle, side, angle? Sure. Why are these angles equal? Oh, I don't have parallel lines, though, so easy. Third angles theorem, and then you could go angle, side, angle if you wanted to show off and get your proof a little longer. So triangle PRS congruent to SQP. And then next step, why would SQ and PR be congruent now? Now that you just proved the triangle's congruent, why would SQ be congruent to PR? Because they are corresponding parts in these congruent triangles, CPCTC. Anything else from you guys? All right, we're done with the hand holding now. All right, we're done with the hand holding. You're not going to see part A, part B. Hey guys, prove these triangles congruent so you can use CPCTC. Here's what you're going to start seeing now. Just prove the segments. Prove a pair of angles. If we start seeing this, you have to prove a pair of segments or a pair of angles. Start thinking first, you have to prove what congruent? The darn triangles. All right, so let's start getting in that habit. If I need to prove segments or a pair of angles, I need to probably start proving the triangles congruent first. And this is great because I did not give you any pairs congruent. So you need to find your own pairs here. All 3 of them you're on the hook for. All 3 of them. First pair, anywhere, 24. What do you got for me? Oh, you took the easy way out. Your classmates are like, oh, I wanted that because I don't know where to go anymore. I hope that's not the case, but. All right, what else now? I got the reflexive side, 9. Got anything else?
Angle DAC is congruent to ACB because parallel lines imply alternate interior angles.
Nice. DAC congruent to ACB. All right, so you got a pair of sides and a pair of angles here. Need one more pair of something. One more pair of something. Use all the givens. 11. I heard DCA and then I didn't hear anything else. DCAN, because they are also. Okay, so everyone all right if I just put those in step 3 as well? Same reason. If you want to add in, if you want to write it again, go ahead, but angle DCA. congruent to CAB. And there's your third pair. Now you just have to determine, is that reflexive side in between or not. Look at a single triangle and say, is that side in between the other two angles? What's my method now? 14, what's my method here? Yep. Ooh, unfortunately now too, what do you have to watch out for when you write this statement? Yeah, you can't just copy it off the proof statement anymore. You got to make sure everything matches up. So let's see. Go ahead. I'll hear from you guys. Give me a match. Good statement. 7. Good congruent statement.
Triangle DAC is congruent to triangle ACB.
So DAC. And what was your other? But if I go ACB, AC's got to match up with itself, right? So what's angle D match up with? B, right? And then this angle A down here matches up with the angle C. So BCA. Because what you just gave me there, Desmond, was AC was in 2 different spots. Like, see how it's in the second and the third? You started off with AC here, and that would have been in the first and the second. So they wouldn't have matched up. Okay? You okay? Sure? And then finally now, okay, the triangles are congruent. Congruent meaning DC and BA are congruent. By 26. CPCTC. Other questions? Okay, you only have 4 tonight. That's it. I'm only asking for 4, correct? Yep, only 4. You can get going on them right now. Get at least half of them done. I'll be here until 2:45, remember.